Nation of Fit in 10, welcome to day 27, and we are nearing the 4-week mark, if you can believe it. Nearly 4 weeks out of the 10. And I want to remind you that the beginning doesn't necessarily match the end. That is, generally speaking, and I'm not just saying this because we're in here 4 weeks in, being completely honest here. Generally speaking, we see more progress towards the end, and it's not because your numbers change so much. They do change. They change a little bit. And that will make a difference. For sure it will. But it's more about the small amount of deficit that's created every day, hopefully, right? The small amount of deficit that's created every day, and it piles up over time, in addition to you becoming more proficient with your training and getting a handle with the challenge. That is, you're ironing out all the kinks, and those errors or mistakes that you're making are at least lessening, right, as the challenge goes on. All right, more questions here, so let's talk about it. This person writes, how to squeeze those chest muscles during resistance training. Okay, I've never had this question before. So one thing I want to just tell you is your chest muscles are responsible for bringing your arm across your body. So this, almost knocked my coffee over there. This is happening, especially if you're lying on your back, because I'm holding my arm up right against gravity. So if I'm lying on my back, more so, this muscle is responsible for bringing my arm across my body. It's still responsible even if I'm not lying down, but I'm just not against gravity here. So doing this motion, that is your chest muscle. That is, your chest is shortening, and when it shortens, it's pulling your arm in. So when I talk to you guys about whatever we're doing in class, whether it is a fly or a push-up or a chest press of some sorts, bench press, dumbbell press, we want to think shoulders back and down. Now, the reason I say down is because we don't want them being up like this. Okay, we want to keep them down. That creates a little more, it takes tension off of the joint in the shoulder. It creates a little more a space in the shoulder in terms of the articulation of this bone into the shoulder socket, for lack of better physiology terms here. So we open up the shoulder a bit by pushing the shoulders down. So that's important. But when it comes to contracting the chest, we want to keep the shoulder back, and this will allow us to better contract as we go through. If you try to contract your chest, but you're moving your shoulder forward, okay, so we're not locking the shoulder down, we're just moving that shoulder through, which is happening through really the assistance of muscles, small muscles in your shoulders and through your back, not your chest, we're going to lose that. So if we allow that shoulder to come through and we're not actively holding it back, we're not going to get the same contraction on the chest. All right, so one thing I want you to think about doing through all your presses is you're moving your arm in like this. All right, so when you're doing your presses, you are moving the arm in. Okay, keeping the shoulder back and trying to imagine trying to squeeze your chest together. Okay, we are squeezing the pecs together as we come up. All right, so that might give you a different perspective than just saying, okay, I'm going to push the weight up, right? We are pushing the weight up, of course, but what's happening with my upper portion of my arm? It's coming in, right? All right, so think about that next time you're training chest. 4 minutes. This is a great question. Does intermittent fasting work? All right, well, this is not really that specific of a question. So my first question to you would be, what do you mean, does it work? Work for what? Like, maybe better digestion. I'm assuming you're talking about weight loss. That's probably my guess. But this could be interpreted in various ways, right? Does it work for longevity, right? If we fast, are we going to have a prolonged life? So there's lots of ways we can interpret this question. So I think what I'll do is I'll answer it tomorrow, and I'm going to go under the assumption that you're talking about fat loss, which is a great question. So we'll talk about that tomorrow. When you ask the questions, be as specific as you can. What do you want to know about what, right? So, yeah, okay. I'm assuming though you mean fat loss. One thing I just want to mention today is, this video is going to be too long, of course. It's hard for me to do these 5-minute videos if I talk more than one topic. I want to just remind you guys that, and I'm going to use this as the message of the day, even though I wasn't planning on it till now. Everything counts. Everything counts. And I'm going to tell you, and this is just one example, but there was somebody in my, well, I don't want to give it away. It was a previous challenge, okay? And this person was doing exceptional through the challenge and still did exceptional overall, all right? They were within top standings. This person, I believe, was third in one of the challenges. I don't want to say which one because I don't want to give this person away. And towards the end, this person's results was just much less. So basically, her first or second scan, amazing results. Second to third scan, amazing results. Third to fourth scan, there just wasn't the results there. But her entries that she was sending me, they were pretty good. Like, they were generally meticulous. Her numbers were very, very good. And so it didn't make any sense to me. It didn't make sense. And so anyways, we let that go. And of course the finale happened and she ended up placing third. And then later on, I won't tell you how I found out because I don't want to give away this person. I found out that this person added in, they started to cheat towards the end because they figured if they just added in a little bit of this and that, it's not really going to make that much of a difference. They're already making plenty of progress. They were really good with their journals, so they figured if they just added in a little bit of things here or there and they didn't put in their journal, it wouldn't make that much of a difference. Now, I'm not saying that you're doing that. Obviously, I'm not. I'm just bringing it up because if one person does it, I'm sure there are many others that do. And of course, I wouldn't know, right? If it's not in your journal, I have no idea. So I want to remind you that even if you are, meticulous with your diet, and then you reflect that in your journal, let's just say, I'm giving you obviously exactly what happened in this case, but you don't put in some extra stuff that you're eating, or you're just kind of like just letting that just pretend it doesn't exist, but it actually does, it will make a difference. Everything counts. Everything counts, all right? Everything counts. Remember that. Everything counts every single day. All right? And I'll give you another example here just quickly. Another thing that can happen, you're really good for a number of days. Okay? What you're eating is accurately reflected in your diary, your numbers are good, everything is really good. And then you have a day where you binge, okay? You just eat a ton of food, way over, okay? But it's just one day. That can set you back tremendously. If we are creating, let's say, a 200 calorie deficit every day, and it's really easy to, binge and eat a couple thousand calories, okay? Like one Costco muffin, for instance. One Costco muffin is, depending on the Costco muffin, is in the order of 800 to 1,000 calories. And I could easily eat 3 of those, okay? That can set us back a week or 2. We have to chew through that. We have to end up chewing through that. Okay, and this can get very frustrating because if you do something like that and but yet you followed like very good days, it can become very frustrating. All right, because you just won't see the progress. So not suggesting anybody's doing that, but it has happened, and so I know what'll happen again in the future with somebody. So I just want you to know that everything counts. Every little thing counts. All right, don't think it doesn't. It does. All right, even if it's, quote, healthy food, okay? It's still calories. It's still extra energy. Your body's got to do something with it, all right? Okay, so I'm going to leave it there. Everything counts. That's my message of the day. Positive energy, positive vibes. Wow, I'm almost 10 minutes. Believe in yourself. For the love of God, give some gratitude, and I will talk to you all tomorrow.